This is Barry Zalma speaking for Claim School Incorporated's blog, Zalma on Insurance. Today we're going to talk about auto insurance and why auto insurance can be limited to be only available for a driver whose name is listed in the policy, and why a scheduled driver endorsement eliminates coverage for any accident. Brandyn Washington and Stephan Jomar Gonzalez were involved in a car accident in Davenport, Florida. Washington sued and asserted that Gonzalez was driving the truck involved in the accident. In a case entitled Prime Property and Casualty Insurance Company versus Coexi Trucking et al., the United States District Court for the Middle District of Florida on June 4, 2024, considered the insurer's motion for summary judgment, asserting no coverage for defense or indemnity of the defendants, their insureds. Before the accident, Plaintiff issued an insurance policy to Coexi that contained a Scheduled Drivers Endorsement. This endorsement changed the terms and conditions of the policy issued and provided that, quote, no coverage shall be provided under this policy for any covered auto which is being used or operated by anyone other than the drivers or operators named below. The policy was in effect at the time of the accident. The insurer established that Gonzalez was not a scheduled driver under the policy and explained why it was appropriate to issue a declaration that it had no obligation to defend or indemnify the defendants in connection with the accident between Washington and Gonzalez that occurred on January 4, 2022, because he was not named. In support of its motion, the insurer argued that it was undisputed that Gonzalez was the driver at the time of the accident, and further stated that Washington admitted such in his underlying state court complaint and answer in this action. Plaintiff further argued that coverage under the policy was limited to drivers listed in the policy Scheduled Drivers Endorsement. The policy The USDC concluded that the policy must be construed considering the plain meaning of the endorsement. Gonzalez's name was not listed on the Scheduled Drivers Endorsement. Since Gonzalez was not listed as a scheduled driver, no coverage under the policy exists for the accident at issue, and plaintiff's motion for final summary judgment was granted, and pursuant to the terms and conditions of the policy, the insurer had no obligation to defend or indemnify any of the defendants in connection with the automobile accident between Washington and Gonzalez that occurred on January 4, 2022. In my opinion, insurance policies are contracts that must be interpreted as written. The policy limited its coverage to people named on the policy that were named after the insurer examined the risks posed by each driver. Since Gonzalez was not named, the insurer had no opportunity to determine whether or not Gonzalez was a driver, the risk of loss of whom they were willing to take, and that their policy, therefore, was never available to the undisclosed driver, and there was never an ability for there to be coverage for that accident. This video was adapted from my blog, Zalma on Insurance, which is available free to anyone who clicks on the URL zalma.com/blog. If you do, you can subscribe and you'll receive notice of every blog posting, usually 5, sometimes 6 a week. And you will have access to the more than 4,800 blog postings. You can also subscribe to these videos on rumble.com and youtube.com. And if you do, I'd appreciate it if you click on the like button on YouTube and the thumbs up button on rumble.com. And if you're interested in further detail about insurance, insurance claims, insurance law, or insurance fraud, please consider subscribing for a very small fee to my Substack publication. Thank you for your attention.